Ladies and gentlemen, the event is about to begin. Please take your seats and remember to silence your phones.
I like the applause. I don't know if that's the sign you want me to leave the stage already or what, but good afternoon, everybody, and hello from Rochester, New York, the optics capital of the world. My name is Jim Sinal. I'm the president of NextCore, and I'd like to welcome all of you who are here in the room in this beautiful facility, along with everybody who is watching from around the world, some very late at night or early in the morning right now. And welcome you all to Luminate Finals 2025, where possibility truly is the main event. For all of us at NextCore, the finals event of Luminate Accelerator is one of the most exciting days of the year. As a nonprofit that supports over 150 early stage tech companies annually through nationally and internationally recognized programs, the chance to celebrate innovators who are working to change our future is truly thrilling. So over the next 90 minutes, you'll get to see the new possibilities coming your way that will help us to think differently, see differently, and work differently in so many different ways. The 12 startups in cohort 8 that you'll meet today are developing deep tech with deep impact, from new ways to produce optics, fabricate semiconductor chips, improve childbirth, and even detect what materials are in the rocks coming out of our mines or on our airport runways. Later in the program, you'll meet Luminate's Managing Director and Chief Investment Officer, Dr. Sujatha Ramanujan. Thanks, Sujatha. Sujatha has led and grown this program since its inception into the world's largest accelerator program for companies working in optics, imaging, and photonics technologies. So in a little while, she will also have the honor of catching up with some of the founders of earlier cohorts to talk about their achievements since graduating from Luminate, and she'll get to hand out $2 million in follow-on funding when the award winners are announced. So get ready to see some really big checks. Being able to bring the most promising companies from around the world here and into Luminate wouldn't be possible without the continued support of New York State's Governor Kathy Hochul. Her commitment to the advancement of emerging technologies and our region's tech sector has been powerful. We're also extremely grateful to Empire State Development, which funds Luminate, as well as many other innovation assets around the state. So thank you to the ESD team, including our local Finger Lakes Regional Director, Laura Fox-O'Sullivan, many other ESD leaders, including Elizabeth Luskin, Ben Verschweren, Laura Welsh, and Toby Garcia, who I know are here, as well as Vincent Esposito, whom you'll get to hear from later today. And, by the way, who has been with this initiative since its inception and helped it get off the ground. So we thank you for that. We also like to thank SPIE for sponsoring Luminate Finals this year in conjunction with the OptiFab conference, which is happening right down the road. We value this strong partnership and the professional society's efforts to advance optics and photonics technology. SPIE's CEO, Kent Rochford, would like to say a few words. So please help me in welcoming Kent to the stage. You can hop if you want. All right. It's all yours.
All right, nice to meet you. I'm sure they're heavily insured for liability. So good afternoon, everyone. It's a privilege to welcome you to the 2025 Luminate Finals. Tonight, we celebrate not just the culmination of Cohort 8's journey, but the bold technologies and the entrepreneurs that are shaping the future of optics, photonics, and imaging. At SPIE, we believe that light-based innovation has the power to transform industries and improve lives. And that's why we're very proud to be here with Luminate and support the startups that you'll meet tonight. Now, converting an idea or an experiment in a lab into a product and a business is truly one of the most challenging undertakings for engineers. It requires collaboration, courage, and commitment. And tonight, you're going to hear from entrepreneurs who've tackled that challenge successfully and are all winners for making it here tonight. Now, representing Representing an organization that puts on events, I also appreciate all the behind-the-scenes work that's needed for an event like this. And I want to congratulate the entire Luminate team for putting together a wonderful program. So let's do that now. Many advances in optics that pave the way for today's modern technology were developed right here in Rochester. So I think it's really fitting that we hear from finalists that are here today who can carry on this legacy. So best of luck to all and enjoy the program. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kent. It's certainly been an exciting week with OptiFab here in Rochester, and the conference's great lineup of sessions and events. For those in the room, we also invite you to attend the SPIE Jam happening right here at 7 o'clock for music and fun. It's clear from all this activity that we're entering a transformative moment for entrepreneurship and innovation right here in downtown Rochester. This event unfolds at the core of our city's innovation district, where NextCore's incubator and our labs anchor a thriving ecosystem alongside the commissary's food business incubator, RIT's Venture Creations, the Center for Urban Entrepreneurship, Innovation Square, and over 200 creative and tech firms right here. So if you're thinking about starting a business or working on scaling a startup, there is support available around almost every corner of this innovation hotspot. We're happy to have last year's MC, Rebecca LeClaire, back with us this year to help us keep this show moving. After producing and anchoring the local news in Rochester for almost 30 years and serving as a media consultant to many companies here, it's so good to have her back on stage and in the spotlight. Please join me in welcoming Rebecca.
Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm happy to be back, and we're going to celebrate today. I've been listening from the back. I can hear some of you with the noisemakers. Let's see who has the hand clappers. I didn't even have to ask you to do that. That was pretty good. But those are probably the quieter people in our crowd today. What about the cowbells? Okay. I know you can do that for now. Ready? Watch. There will be points of the program where you should not shake these. But I think you got it. You guys are really good, and I hope you're as excited. I am thrilled to be here with all of you today to celebrate the incredible impact that Luminate is making on the future of innovation. And let's be honest, you know, it's pretty cool getting to hand out millions of dollars. Lucky girl. All right. So one of the best things about Luminate is the support that innovators receive, not just during their time in the accelerator, but afterwards to ensure they can navigate challenges and continue to thrive. During our event today, we're going to share the latest on just a few of the companies in the Luminate portfolio. You know, it's really hard to bring deep tech to market, right? Yeah. Well, teams must integrate technologies in ways never imagined before, and this requires a great deal of research, development, and testing. Expert guidance, strong partnerships with manufacturers and supply chain partners that are willing to work on novel ideas, and a clear path to scaling their business. Did you know that it takes an average of 8 or more years for most deep tech companies to reach the commercialization point? That's why programs like Luminate are critical for providing the support necessary to turn these possibilities into reality. Let's take a look.
Luminate is an accelerator and an investor, and we're actually the world's largest accelerator in optics, photonics, and imaging. Every year, we take 10 companies into the program in that early stage from all over the world. We begin by investing $100,000 up front into each one of the companies. There isn't really a part of your life that's not impacted by optics, and the innovation that's coming out of these companies is the next level in each one of those things.
The technologies that these companies are building, deep tech technologies, impact the world, these need to be manufactured, primarily hardware-related products. Those companies go through a 6-month, very intensive program. We offer resources to startup companies, coaching, mentoring, access to investors, service providers, as well as industry experts that can help these companies grow.
They'll get access to resources that were just hard to come by, and can have conversations that are hard to have, and find, good informed people to have those conversations with.
Rochester has been for over 100 years the real epicenter of optics.
We have an enormous amount of infrastructure here and a supplier base of companies. How do we build on our strength? And I think that's why Rochester will succeed in this optical photonics and imaging initiative.
This is a great environment. Having an accelerator facility where the folks can get together, work on what they need with folks, helping them, mentoring them, is very, very important. You don't see a lot of facilities like this, and this is really unique.
From co-working to offices, we've got wet labs for people that need laboratories. We've got prototyping shop with 3D printers and laser cutters. At the end of that program, we have $2 million of additional funds that we invest in the best of those companies. We're investing $3 million every year.
For every dollar that Luminate invests in these companies, we find that at least $7 are matched by other investors or possibly some grant money. So we like to think that that first dollar that we put into a company is like a seed that attracts so much more.
If you have an investment community and a critical mass of startup companies, then this does become sustainable for a long period of time.
Suddenly you're part of something. You're part of something big, and you're credible, and people are listening. I think that it gives you a real lift into the industry.
All right. Yeah. All right. I'm going to mention a few names here. Perhaps not with the cowboys right now, but pretty soon, okay? But as Jim said earlier, in addition to Empire State Development, Luminate would not be possible without the support of many of our state, local, and institutional leaders who deserve a big shout out today. State Senators Samara Brook and Jeremy Cooney, State Assembly members Desmond Meeks, Josh Jensen, Jennifer Lunsford, Sarah Clark, and Harry Bronson, Monroe County and County Executive Adam Bello, and the City of Rochester, plus Mayor Malik Evans, who is here today. Finger Lakes Regional Economic Development Council co-chairs Bob Duffy and Dr. Deanna R. Burt Nana. Luminate's distinguished advisory board members, which are listed in your program so you can see them there. Also, our principal academic partners, the University of Rochester, Rochester Institute of Technology, and Monroe Community College. The Rochester Chamber of Commerce, Greater Rochester Enterprise, and One Rock. Excel Partners, and the staff at NextCore who put on the Luminate program every day. Now, Senator Brook and Mayor Evans are both here today and would like to say a few words. So please first pick up your noisemakers and join me in welcoming Senator Samara Brook.
We were not going to risk that ledge right there. There's not enough liability in the world for that. It's so great to be here with all of you. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you, Jim and NextCore, Sujatha, for your leadership on this program now that we are in the 8th cohort. It has been such an honor to see some of these companies come to life. And you heard Rebecca talk about taking deep technology into commercialization. And what that often means for a layperson like some of us is that these are things you've never thought of that are going to solve some of your greatest challenges in life. And so when I was looking through today's portfolio, I couldn't help but notice, for my own purposes, there's some maternal health technology on the docket today, which is so exciting. And so when I think about that, we think about often in my work as a maternal health champion, as the chair of mental health, that there are so many topics that often don't get the research and the attention that they need and the innovation that they need, right? And so for something like Luminate to offer this space to accelerate and dive into some of these topics that so many of us could benefit from is really, truly incredible to watch. So I am maybe a little biased, but Seconia Medical, I'm very into what you are putting together. I don't know anyone who wouldn't love to reduce unnecessary C-sections. Inductions and other interventions, but truly I do want to say congratulations to all of you in cohort 8. Having been here for a few of these, I know that the energy is palpable in these rooms, not just because of your hand clappers and now cowbell. Who doesn't need more cowbell, right? Only a certain generation, I guess, gets that joke, but that's okay. I'm getting older. But truly, I want to say congratulations to all of Cohort 8 and congratulations to Luminate for continuing to bring these brilliant minds to the Rochester area. We are so proud to be able to host this, and I am proud as a state representative to be able to represent the work that you're doing. So with that, I will wish all of Cohort 8 good luck today. I know not everyone's getting $1 million check, but I think you know that the work you've done here will help propel you and your businesses and your innovations far beyond today. And I wish you all luck. So thank you all so much.
She's even wearing heels. God bless you. All right. Well, thank you, Senator Brook. Mayor Evans, we are delighted to have you join us again, and I understand that you have a proclamation to make with our great city. Don't forget it. We'll bring it up. Yeah, come on, come on, come on. All right, so please welcome Mayor Malik Evans.
Thank you, Rebecca. It is great to be here, and what a great week in Rochester. I cut the ribbon yesterday at OptiFab as we opened that yesterday, the largest optics trade show in the world right here in Rochester, and it's great to be able to be back again to celebrate Luminate. This is one of my favorite events to come to because of the innovation that comes out of here and the opportunity for your host to work very hard to make sure that those of you that are coming from out of town, that you decide to maybe make Rochester your home, and I hope that you will. I hope that some of you will make that determination. But I want to welcome all of you to Rochester, where we have some of the best and brightest minds in the field of optics, photonics, and imaging. This is one arena where Rochester has international stature, as I've said. In fact, some have called us the epicenter of imaging, and like the epicenter of an earthquake, we don't want any earthquakes, but like the epicenter of an earthquake, what happens here shakes up the world. And I know many of you are hoping to be the next ground-shaking, ground-breaking startup. And I expect many of you will be in ways both large and small. And you're in the right place to get a great start. And to be honest, you're in the right place to set down roots and to grow. And as I said, we'd be proud to have you here in Rochester. If I have to talk to you personally, you call the mayor's office. I'll try to get you to stay here. I've gotten some folks who said, oh, I would never come to upstate New York, and now they're here. So I'm a good salesperson, so talk to me. We want you here. We want your company here. This is the home of innovation, great water resources. We want you here in Rochester. Over the past few years, Luminate's accelerator has been adding to the groundbreaking optics, photonics, and imaging solutions that are being developed here. And thanks to our ability to attract creative thinkers and to invest in them, Rochester remains one of the most vibrant, skilled, and innovative cities in which to do business. Rochester's history is full of risk takers and problem solvers who shook the world, and that tradition is being proudly embraced by the next generation. So thank you to SPIE for sponsoring this event. Thanks also to Empire State Development, our governor, who is an amazing champion for this work, and our state leaders, one of whom you just heard from, Senator Summer Brook, who are committed to Rochester's innovative economy. But most of all, thanks to NextCore Illuminate and our photonics industry for supporting and encouraging the startups who benefited from the wealth and wisdom and experience in this room. I wish our brave entrepreneurs the best of luck, and I am thrilled to see what startups have in store for us today. I know the judges, man, I wouldn't want to be in your seats. You face a very, very tough decision. And as has been customary, I have a proclamation declaring Luminate Day. I will tell you that there are a lot of whereases on this proclamation, but guess what? Lucky for you, I want you to use those clappers and not clap me off the stage. I'm not going to read all of the whereases. I'm just going to read the last one and present this to Dr. Sujatha. And it says, whereas Rochester is proud to host the Luminate Finals and cohort, which brought 10 finalists and 2 runners-up representing innovative ideas from around the world to compete to follow on funding of more than $2 million. They will be given the opportunity to connect with global leaders, work with mentors, get critical business training, to have collaboration with others, and connect with investors here in New York State and here in New York State's photonics capital. Notice I'm saying New York State's photonics, I'm claiming it, we are. Now, therefore, I, Malik D. Evans, Mayor of the City of Rochester, do hereby proclaim October 22nd, 2025 to be Luminate Day in Rochester and urge all citizens to recognize the value of these investments in innovation. Congratulations, and Sujata, thank you for your work. Photo.
All right, that was wonderful. Thank you so much, Mayor Evans. We know it's a busy time in the fall for you. And marking this significance today to Rochester and to the optics community, photonics, imaging community, it means so much. Now, over the next hour, you're going to be introduced to Cohort 8's 10 finalists and 2 runner-up companies. As they graduate today, their businesses are stronger, more focused, and more prepared. And like their predecessors in cohorts 1 through 7, many have already established a foothold right here in our region. In fact, Luminate teams have been very active here. They've engaged New York contractors and universities on more than 140 projects, and that has returned over $21 million to the region. 22 international companies have relocated here to New York, and that's created 210 new jobs and supported hundreds of other jobs. And that is what we call momentum. So in the next few minutes, you're going to meet the first 6 companies through brief videos. Pay close attention because you're going to have the chance to vote for one of your favorites. We are going to help them win the Audience Choice Award, and that means $10,000. And then after those 6, we're going to move to our panel discussion to catch up with founders from some of the fastest growing companies in the Luminate portfolio. And then we'll introduce the remaining 6 companies. So for the second year in a row, 7 of our finalists hail from outside the U.S., demonstrating that Luminate's growing global reach is really expanding. Our first startup, AMPIC, originated in India, but has moved to Rochester to access our region's rich OPI resources. Its team is designing and developing photonic integrated circuits, known as PICs, for the quantum comm, datacom, and telecom industries. They've been in the news too, and after being named the best semiconductor startup of the year by India's Electronics and Semiconductor Association. So let's roll the video.
At AMPIC, we design and develop photonics integrated circuits for quantum applications. Our quantum key distribution is going to address the problem of future cybersecurity onslaught from quantum computers, which possess enormous amount of quantum computing capability with which they will compromise all the security algorithms of today. The AMPIC's solution focuses on developing quantum key distribution or QKD on a photonics integrated circuit. We send the key and message from transmitter chip to the receiver chip in quantum status. That's how we protect the key from hacking. What we provide is foolproof security so that the impending global existential threat to the data security can be avoided. Our potential clients are quantum key distribution, bulk systems manufacturers, or discrete system manufacturers who take our chips, fix in their systems, and sell to their customers. But we are transitioning into system players. Once we become system players, we will be having the potential clientele in banking sector, financial sector, cloud operators, and telecom operators. The market size is being projected as $2.64 billion by 2030. We are honored to have been selected as the best semiconductor startup in Semicon 2025 in India. Our selection by Luminate couldn't have come at a better time for us because Luminate is the best way to transition us into US. They are introducing all the possible stakeholders in US to us. Our solution is going to be the holy grail of data security, throwing a foolproof security blanket to the world.
AMPAC. Now you heard Miss Assemblywoman Brooke talk about the California-based Zirconia Medical business, and it's on a mission to improve women's childbirth experiences and outcomes through the first AI-based medical device for vaginal exams. So let's take a look.
We are Zirconia Medical, and we are on a mission to revolutionize labor progress assessment with an AI-based imaging device. Over 140 million women give birth annually worldwide. The vast majority of them goes through a series of intrusive manual exams to check their labor progress. These painful manual checks that are done every 1 to 4 hours carry a high risk of infection and errors that often leads to misdiagnosis and unnecessary interventions. The World Health Organization, medical associations, and numerous studies are calling to minimize those exams and find a better and safer alternative. At Zirconia Medical, we're developing Ilara. It's designed as a point-of-care handheld imaging device for providing automatic measurements of cervical and fetal parameters during pregnancy and labor that can be used reliably by any skilled provider, whether it's a midwife or an OBGYN at a busy urban hospital or a family physician in a rural clinic, for a safer and better childbirth experience and outcome, and providing hospital cost savings. The information is saved under the patient's file for easy and consistent labor monitoring. We got a lot of endorsement from clinicians and interest from hospitals that are really excited about our device reaching the market. Our device is needed at any labor and delivery scenario, bringing our total addressable market to be $19 billion globally. Participating in the Luminate Accelerator has been a very positive experience for us. It helps us to accelerate our path to market, connect with even more academic and clinical partners, and with strong manufacturing opportunities. As a mother of 3 and a biomedical engineer, the idea for the solution came about following my experience with pregnancy and childbirth. It became my mission to make the experience of other mothers a better one. Our vision is to set a new, safer standard of care for mothers and their babies around the world.
Zirconia Medical. Great stuff. All right, so you've probably heard the expression, what will they think of next? I'm sure we're going to see some more surprises here today, but our third company comes from our neighboring state of Massachusetts, Daughter Labs is integrating hundreds of sensors over large distances to provide real-time, high-quality data on dynamic and complex chemical processes for industries like aquaculture, pharmaceuticals, and oil and gas. So watch this.
At Daughter Labs, we're reinventing how we do chemical monitoring in the chemical manufacturing industry. We can deploy multiple sensors into any kind of chemical manufacturing line to give real-time data for the operators to make their process more efficient. Chemical manufacturing actually includes so many more things than traditional chemicals. It's farming, it's food production, pharmaceuticals, and even oil and gas. Our technology solves the problem of poor production yields and efficiency across all types of chemical manufacturing. Right now, these processes are ancient. They haven't been optimized in decades, and there's no access to the modern tools that can really push it forward and making them more sustainable and cost-effective. And so we're really changing that by allowing our technology to be affordable and scalable and improve all types of manufacturing. Our technology can monitor liquids, solids, and gases. At each sensor location, we illuminate samples with a laser, and from the interaction that light goes through with the material, we get a detailed chemical analysis. When you have access to that type of data, you have complete visibility into your process. You understand what's going right, what's going wrong, and where things can get better. That's really pushing production to the best it could possibly be. Our initial market is called aquaculture, which is basically farming for seafood. 50% of the world's seafood is provided by aquaculture. And that's really our target market right now. That's $4.4 billion. And we intend to pursue adjacent markets like wastewater monitoring and environmental monitoring and others, a total size market of $16 billion. It's a real privilege to be part of the Luminate cohort. It's very hard to find experts in the optics industry, and this gives us the tools and the connections and the investors to allow us to move forward. I get very emotional when I talk about this technology. It could be life-changing, not just for our generation, but for our children's generation, making a cleaner, more sustainable way of doing things that will improve everyone's lives.
Daughter Labs. Have you ever wanted to be able to see inside something to know what it might be made of? If your answer is yes, you need to meet Iridescence. Based in France, this team is giving machines the ability to see what's invisible and doing so in 3D and color. So let's learn more.
At Iridescence, we've created the world's first multispectral active vision system. Multispectral means we use different light bands in the infrared spectrum. We analyze those light bands in the infrared spectrum in order to characterize the materials we're looking at. It could be dirt, rocks, anything that could be useful for our client. Current vision systems like cameras and LiDAR are limited. They cannot tell you the real composition of the materials they're looking at. Our sensor does what no other technology can achieve. We analyze those light bands in the infrared spectrum to differentiate the matter. In the mining industry, our sensor, powered by an AI-driven software, can be mounted on an excavator or above a conveyor belt or passing trucks to give real-time feedback on ore quality. It can tell whether it is valuable ores or total waste. We provide the critical information like humidity level, volume calculation, grain size, or ore type that mine manager needs to make instant cost-setting decisions. The market opportunity for our technology in the mining industry is huge. We are talking about a $50 billion market for smart industry mining. At an airport, our technology eliminates the need of manual inspection. It can detect any loose objects on the pavement at the airport where the aircraft are parked. We can clearly tell whether it is a dangerous metal loose object or just a bunch of plastic, in order to prevent any debris from getting inside the engine, saving millions in fuel, preventing flight delays, and creating a safer environment. Participating in the Luminate program is a really good opportunity for us. The Luminate program really helped us in developing our network. The pitch training and all the classes about how to approach a VC investor are really on point. What inspires our team every day is that we can create an innovative technology that makes such a big difference for industries, while creating a greener future.
Iridescence. Okay, now we're going to move over to Ireland to meet Lear Optic, which has invented a groundbreaking solid-state, shape-shifting, tunable optical lens and technology that facilitates optical zoom in a shorter, compact camera module stack, often referred to as CCM. So check it out.
At Lear Optic, we've developed an adjustable lens technology. It's a solid-state technology with no mechanically moving parts, and it will be used across a multitude of industries, ranging from smartphones to AR/VR cameras, all the way out to space Earth observation. The range of end customers is enormous. Currently, adjustable lens technologies, as they exist, are somewhat restricted in the applications they can be applied to. Medical devices, for example, adjustable lens technology at the moment is too big, rendering it not suitable to be inserted inside the human body. The Lear Optic technology can be miniaturized and will be able to explore any part within the human body. If we look at automotive applications and space applications, the use of adjustable lens technology is inherently restricted due to the fact that it's impacted by vibrations, it's impacted by extreme temperatures, and it's impacted by gravity. None of these have an issue with the Lear Optic technology at all. Smartphone technology currently uses between 3 and 5 cameras, all with a fixed focal length. Lear Optic technology enables a variable focal length camera, thereby reducing the number of cameras required down to 1. This will increase the ability of the smartphone manufacturers to put other technologies into the camera or the phone itself, but will also reduce the cost of the actual phone itself. We would send a software plugin that the customer can use in their simulation software. This will enable them to see how the technology will work when it's integrated into their optical system itself. The customer would send us their specifications, and we would then customize the lens to meet those specifications. And then they would integrate it physically into their optical system. For smartphone technology, in 2022, there was $55 billion worth of compact camera modules shipped. In 2028, that's expected to grow to $150 billion. It's a significant market and a huge potential for Lear Optic. It was a huge honor to be selected for the Luminate program. The investment is exceptionally attractive for a small company. There's a huge amount of expertise, an enormous ecosystem within Rochester. It's been invaluable. Lear Optic is the adjustable lens technology of the future, and it's here today. We have the potential to revolutionize how optical systems are developed and manufactured into the future, and that is incredibly inspirational for our team.
Lear Optic. And the last company in this set is headquartered in the United Kingdom. MetaHelios is working to reinvent camera chip manufacturing with its next generation color filter technology. So let's dive right into this video.
At MetaHelios, we've created next generation of pixel technology, the part of the pixel architecture that captures reality. And that will unlock the future of artificial intelligence by having machines understand reality. Today's computer vision, which is the combination of using cameras with artificial intelligence algorithms so that machines can understand the world that we live in and make decisions, is highly limited by sensor data. And unfortunately, this sensor data struggles under real-world complexities. It can only be solved at the pixel level. The type of pixel technology that is required, which is color filters, needs high chemical manufacturing in order to build it. At MetaHelios, we have developed a technology that can be customized and fine-tuned 100 times faster and just at a fraction of the cost of today's technology. It exceeds in performance by being able to see not just in color, but in infrared and polarization. And it can be manufactured more seamlessly than today's technology. Our customers are camera chip manufacturers. It integrates seamlessly in their manufacturing processes. It provides better camera chip technologies with more color accuracy and by adding more information from the real world into the data that it collects. Our technology enables automated vehicles for civilian and military applications, smartphone universal assistance, and advanced robots for industrial automation. Our target market is the CMOS image sensor market, which is at a value of $30 billion. Being part of the Luminate program has been incredibly helpful in order for us to become more attractive to investors. We've learned a lot. At MetaHelios, we are incredibly passionate about making an impact in people's lives. And to have been given this opportunity to deliver a highly advanced technology that will support everyone, it is really a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
MetaHelios. And this completes the first half of our startups in today's lineup, but we have a lot more to go. So while these companies were moving through their 7 months of programming in the accelerator, prior cohort companies were continuing to grow and scale their businesses. Each month, their milestones and news are spotlighted in the Lens newsletter. So, hey, let me see a show of hands of who gets the Lens in their email. Yeah, oh, I even heard a cowbell. But that's great, because I'm telling you, if you haven't subscribed to get this, you should, because you can look right in the finals program to find out. There's a link right in there. You need to sign up. And while our panelists get situated on the stage, I'm going to share a few achievements from our prior cohort companies. Last year's Company of the Year, Nix Lab, is redefining control systems for integrated photonics with compact, scalable, and affordable tools that empower researchers worldwide. Its founder, Andre Mahendra, was named one of the Optics and Photonics News 10 Entrepreneurs to Watch in 2025. Nix Lab was also featured in the July 2025 issue of the Singapore Semiconductor Industry Association magazine for its impact on the global and ASEAN semiconductor ecosystem. Labby founder and cohort 6 alum, Julia Somerdin, who moved her team to Rochester, was likewise named to Optic and Photonics News Entrepreneurs to Watch in 2025 and recognized by Forbes on its Class of 50, over 50, of women innovators solving the world's toughest challenges. And now based in Rochester, Labby is tackling a $32 billion problem in the dairy industry by detecting bacteria-infected milk before it leaves the farm. And Luca was from our cohort 4, and they moved to Eastman Business Park in Rochester just to leverage its advanced coding facilities. The company just won the 2025 Glass Magazine Award for R&D for its Innovia glass with Safe Flight UVA bird-friendly power-generating glass that's invisible to humans but visible to birds. How about that? And another cohort 4 alum, that's QNect, has deployed its Carina product suite at Montana State, creating the first quantum entanglement network in the northwestern U.S. The company is also part of a $25 million initiative to build a quantum campus in Albuquerque, and it recently hit 99% fidelity in real-world quantum networking tests in New York and Berlin, pushing the boundaries of secure, quantum-ready infrastructure. And of course, I could go on and share even more good news, but it's better if the companies in Luminate tell their own stories. So I'd like to invite them up. From cohort 6, meet Juniali Norial, CEO and co-founder of Photonet Interconnect Solutions. From cohort 4, meet Chuck Gershman, CEO and co-founder of OWL Autonomous Imaging. And from cohort 1, meet Francisco Aguilar, the CEO of Bounce Imaging. And we have our moderator, you know her and love her, Sujatha Ramanujan, Luminate's Managing Director and Chief Investment Officer at NextCore. So, by the way, there's more on their bios in your printed and digital program, but let's have Sujatha take it away.
Well, hello, and I'd like to welcome our CEOs to the stage here. I'm really excited to introduce them, and we'll start with each one of you, and I'd like to just go down the row and have each one of you tell the audience what it is you do and what your company's working on. Francisco?
Sure. So Bounce Imaging, we make omnidirectional camera systems for first responders, defense, and law enforcement. So things that you can throw through a window to get a 360-degree view of what's going on in a space and see whether or not it's dangerous inside there. And we work with everyone from the Special Operations Command to being in every FBI field office to a whole range of applications.
Hi, I'm Chuck Gershman with Al Autonomous Imaging. We develop AI-powered thermal night vision systems. That's both from a hardware perspective as well as a computer vision AI software perspective. Our hardware sensors are significantly higher resolution, lower power, and much more cost-effective than the traditional sensors that are out there today. And our computer vision allows for the ability to recognize those thermal images and produce 3D responses for location, tracking, and identification. And these technologies are quite applicable within the military space for drones and the commercial space for drones, within the autonomy space, the automotive space, as well as the industrial space.
Hi everyone, I'm Juniali, co-founder and CEO of Photonect. At Photonect, we are developing a new technology to connect optical fibers to optical chips, but we are maintaining the losses, we're reducing the losses by 4 times, and we're also making this method 10 times more faster so that we can scale up photonics to a level where electronics is, make it more reliable, cost-effective, and also reduce the power consumption of these data centers. So right now, we are launching a new product which can enable the epoxy-free connection between fibers and chip right here in Rochester.
That's terrific. So I want to take a little time to walk down the row and have them tell you a little bit their journey when they first started. And I met Juniali, she was actually in graduate school and working on this idea for a great business. You want to tell us a little bit about the growth path and when you joined Luminate and where you are now?
That is such a great question, and it was 2 years back when I actually graduated from my grad school at University of Rochester, and I directly got into Luminate. But it was, when we started Luminate, it was still like an idea, a concept. But we still were getting a lot of customer traction, and that's why I think we got selected. But even in that 6 months of the Luminate journey, I think we became from an idea as a startup to something which we could like actually sell customers and be a company. So, for me, that was a transition. But over the past few years, we have grown in Rochester. We have hired talent from the local area, but we have also become more of a company now, and we have raised some venture funds, but mostly we are funded by the grants, and we have raised around $2 million in non-dilutive funding over the past 2 years, and we are looking to scale up in the region as we grow.
Great. Chuck, want to tell us a little bit about Owl's journey?
Sure. So when we were first met Luminate, that was actually probably about 5 years ago. We had a computer vision capability for thermal. In fact, I think in that video you saw a little robot running around a parking lot. That was our robot. And it was using someone else's thermal camera, and we were analyzing the scenes and being able to identify what we were looking at. We also had a concept for the world's first digital thermal sensor. Thermal sensors today, all of them except ours, are predominantly an analog sensor. And unlocking digital capability within a sensor has tremendous benefit. So today, you fast forward, we've introduced 2 products, our Dial digital sensor that I just talked about before, and our Night Vision 3D thermal AI computer vision capability. We have a dozen automotive / autonomy pilots around the world, 3 different continents, Europe, US, and Asia. We have over $5.5 million in defense-related contracts. We have another pipeline of about $25 million worth of contract opportunity. And we have the ability to potentially truly disrupt the market. And that's what we intend to do.
And I'd like Francisco, tell us about Bounce.
Yeah, so we were in the first cohort, and ours was has been a long journey of starting at a very naive point and then thinking that the technology was going to be a lot easier to develop than we thought it was. When we got to here in cohort 1, I think we had finally figured out the technology. The FBI had broken it 145 times, and we could now actually produce it. But we were just getting to the markets phase and really understanding the customers that we had, like in the law enforcement world, and then the transition to federal government contracting and military and NATO. And so it was really a moment where we were going to take all right, we got all the kinks out, now we really got to get the commercial side out and a lot of the investment stuff up. And since then, we're now at about 10 million revenue, actually a little bit more this year. We're profitable, which is crazy. We are in, hope to keep it that way. We're about to do a massive rollout with a NATO ally across their entire Ministry of Defense. We're in every branch of Special Operations Command. We're in every FBI field office. So we've really gotten to that commercial piece and to that really engagement piece and pushing forward the technology and getting into new and exciting places. So yeah, it's been a long but good journey.
I have to say, every time I open up the news or something, Francisco's getting some other really outrageously great recognition, like Time Magazine and...
Yeah, if you have like 97-year-old grandmothers that still get Time Magazine in the mail, we were Best Invention last year.
Yeah, they got Best Invention, so that's pretty impressive. So I also want to take a moment to talk about New York Photonics and the ecosystem here and why that's so critical and how it helps businesses. I'm going to start with Chuck this time and can you tell us a little bit about the New York Photonics ecosystem and how it has helped you in the journey?
Sure. So obviously, in addition to being part of Luminate, our biggest supplier and strategic partner is actually Global Foundries in Albany. They are also one of our largest investors, so they really believe in what we're doing, and they're critical, and they're domestic, big point. Locally, we've worked with Moondog Optics, we've worked with D3 Engineering, we've worked with RIT Research on a bunch of stuff, and then most recently, and very interestingly, we are now in a partnership with another Luminate cohort company called Circle Optics. And Circle Optics, slightly competitive to yourself, I believe here, also builds a 360-degree capability. And they are working on a major defense prime contractor for counter-drone capability. And they are looking to integrate our camera systems, our cameras into their overall optical solution. So that is a very synergistic example of how these cohort companies can work together and build something even greater as 1 + 1 = 4.
So I want to point out something. So we've had 85 companies go through Luminate. Many of them are here, which means that I think we are actually the largest density of startup optics companies or early stage optics photonics companies in the world, unless there's something going on in China that I don't know about, but that could be. But right, in this world that we know, this is the largest concentration. So Juniali, you want to tell us a little bit about how you use the local optics systems?
Yes, definitely. So I think we have a huge, long journey, right? The idea was generated at the University of Rochester. So it actually was born in Rochester, in New York. And then we got into Luminate. So they helped us commercialize the product. And then we were at this stage. But Luminate helped us to connect to investors, mentors, but also local ecosystem. And I think from that, it was like, this is such a great place to be because the size of the city is almost perfect to start a company, because if there are suppliers, vendors, customers in the region, you can drop by and, we had to collect a sample from one of our partners nearby, and they were like, should we ship it? We're like, no, we'll just drive and we'll take the sample and, we're good. So the ecosystem is very rich here. We have hired most of our engineers from University of Rochester. We have collaborated with RIT on multiple awards that we have received. And now, next year, actually, we're hoping to launch our first commercial product with some of our local partners in the area. So that would also be like, it's coming to like a full ecosystem thing. And so I'm really glad to be here. And I think the New York ecosystem is definitely growing. And we are making that ecosystem a reality and a possibility.
Terrific. Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, today we're talking to two companies here in Rochester on lenses, because we need to get lenses that are domestically sourced, and where else would you go for lenses if not here, right? And as we look into thermal lenses, right, great places to be. We do, actually, not just Rochester, but the broader upstate community. We do a lot of our manufacturing in Buffalo for our box manufacturing. We do PCBA around here. We source machine shop parts from upstate New York. The whole area is well tuned for this, and it's a kind of thing that you need to have expertise. Like, we've tried like random machine shops making lens threads, and it never works. You need to have experience with it, and so that concentration of ability is really helpful.
So there has been a lot of profound changes in our industry, and there's some really significant technological changes as well. And I want each one of you to comment about what are those changes and how did it affect your business? So I'm going to start with Chuck.
Okay. So I think I used the word autonomy a couple of times before, and it is a huge revolutionary capability that's coming on board. And you hear a lot about generative AI, which is what they usually refer to as a LLM. But when you talk about robotics or computer vision or autonomy, it's also AI, but it's a slightly different form of AI or another flavor. The thing that actually excites me the most that's on the horizon is something called synthetics. So to do AI, you have to train. And if you want to train on autonomy or robotics or something that moves, you have to actually get your data from the environment, real world. And that takes, you've heard the term, to create an autonomous car, we need millions of miles of training. Well, synthetics could fix that. But synthetics has been very, very immature, and we tried it multiple times, and we were very, very disillusioned with the quality of synthetics. But within the last year, there has now been the advent of synthetics that are generative. They are similar in nature to LLMs. This is going to be a revolution in computer vision training, right? The ability to go out, gather data in the real world through your sensors, feed that sensor data, and train a synthetic algorithm to reproduce variants of what you saw in the real world, and then use that real world data to train or that synthetic data to train your system is going to be revolutionary. And that will unlock a lot of this autonomy. So that's what I'm most excited about.
Great. So I'm going to do something a little different here because I want to keep us right on schedule. I'm going to ask Juniali and then Francisco and then back to you, Chuck. Juniali, I want you to tell me, like, very briefly, what do you think is the biggest change that's affecting you, and one piece of advice that you have for those bringing deep tech into the market?
I think the biggest change that's affecting me and the startup is the boom in AI and everybody building data centers, the need for more data is, and it has helped us. So it has been a boon for us. Everybody wants more efficient connections and less power consumption. So that has definitely changed the entire ecosystem for us. And one advice I would want to give anybody who wants to start a company is that, we are starting a deep tech or a hard tech startup. It's definitely hard, but just don't give up, because somebody has to do hard things, and only then the world would change. So if you really want to create an impact, do it and go ahead and build that hard tech startup.
Great. Francisco?
Yeah, I mean, I think the democratization of hardware is something that we haven't really even understood the implication of, right? The things that you can do as an amateur with like a 3D printer and like simple electronics are both super exciting in terms of what you can do and start, and absolutely terrifying in terms of what we're going to be facing in the next coming years in terms of our privacy environment, our security environment, our safety environment. It's a really dynamic time when you can do remarkable things, but so can lots of other people. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how we manage that transition as a society.
Do you have a piece Piece of advice for the teams here?
I thought that was it. That like
Okay.
you can do remarkable
Okay, there you
things.
go.
It's
Do
like
remarkable
you
things.
think you can do so much more than you think you can with the technologies and tools that are out there. It's crazy what you can build with like a
Great.
$500 printer and some easy circuits from Arduino. You can do prototyping that would have taken hundreds of thousands of dollars and years before.
That's
It's a really
amazing.
exciting time for that.
Chuck, what's your pearl of wisdom for our young entrepreneurs?
Okay, well, I agree. Hard tech is really hard. So whatever amount of time you considered it's going to take, you're wrong, it's going to take longer. Whatever amount of money you thought it was going to cost, you're wrong, it's going to cost way more. But you have to stick to it. And then finally, I would say there is some good light out there. After 2 decades, the venture capital community has finally decided and come to the realization that software without hardware is a fool's errand. And they're finally, once again, investing in hardware for the first time in 2 decades. Of course, Siddhartha is the exception here, but that's what's going on finally. So that will be quite helpful.
So on that note, I want to point out that for all of the dollars invested in Luminate companies, we've gotten $14 in VC and other investment dollars right into them. So he's correct. There's been a sincere uptick in deep tech dollars available. So I'd like to take a moment to thank each of our panelists for sharing their stories, and I'm really grateful for them for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much, Sujatha, Francisco, Chuck, and Juniali, for bringing us up to speed and demonstrating that really it's going to take perseverance to scale and grow a strong business and keep on going. So right now, we're going to turn our attention back to the remaining finalists. We're going to talk about the San Diego-based company called Oblate. Oblate Optics is transforming laser systems with AI-driven ultra-thin optics to expand design possibilities for a host of manufacturers, from medical device makers to aerospace suppliers. So we're going to see what they're up to.
We are Oblate Optics, and we created extended depth of focus meta lenses. These are lenses that maintain the laser focus very, very tightly over a depth that is far larger than possible with conventional lenses. Extended depth of focus meta lenses can be used in all laser-based manufacturing processes, such as laser marking, laser engraving, laser cutting, etc. Every year, billions of dollars are lost and lives are at stake by the use of tampered or counterfeit parts, whether they be in biomedical settings, aerospace parts, or automobile industry. The stakes are enormous. Laser marking for traceability is a solution to this problem. However, marking on irregular, non-flat surfaces is painfully slow and expensive. This makes high-volume precision marking nearly impossible. At Oblate Optics, we have invented extended depth of focus, or EDOF, meta lenses. These lenses keep a laser focus very tightly focused over a distance that is up to 10 times larger than that with conventional optics. There is no need for refocusing even on irregular or curved surfaces. Manufacturers can mark faster, more reliably, with unmatched precision. Our lenses retrofit into existing systems and seamlessly integrate into new machines. Imagine marking every heart stent with a unique tamper-proof ID, or embedding traceable micromarks on every aerospace fastener. Let's make it such that every critical part can be trusted anywhere in the world. We are extremely honored and very excited to be a part of Luminate. Rochester has this combination of highly innovative academic institutions and a large base of manufacturing companies. The training provided by Luminate has significantly improved the operations of our company. Taking a technology that is merely a concept in the lab into the real world, solving critical problems, is not only inspirational, but highly motivating.
Oblate Optics. Next, we have another West Coast company from San Diego. Pensivision's breakthrough 3D imaging combines a miniaturized single lens setup, AI, and optics that have been inspired by astronomy to take diagnostics and detection to the next level. take a closer look.
We are Pensivision, and we're on a mission to enable humans and machines to see deeper and act smarter with software-driven 3D imaging that unlocks hidden perspectives. In industries like manufacturing, aerospace, and healthcare, undetected anomalies could lead to devastating consequences, resulting in over $1 trillion and thousands of lives lost every year. Manual inspection suffers from human errors due to fatigue and strain, and traditional 2D imaging lacks depth and accuracy. And while 3D imaging boosts accuracy, their high cost, complexity, and lack of versatility hinders their widespread adoption, resulting in a massive, underserved market hungry for 3D imaging solutions that work in real-life conditions. Pensivision is redefining 3D imaging by replacing hardware-intensive systems with an AI and software-based platform that captures micron-level precision in a single shot. Social impact is in our DNA. From factories and medical clinics to space applications, we're opening access to advanced 3D imaging in markets that have previously been underserved and overlooked. In manufacturing, we enable fast, motion-free inspections of capacitors, silicon wafers, and optical lenses, reducing dependence on manual labor and costly laser-based systems. And in healthcare, we have developed the world's first single-use endoscope with real 3D imaging capabilities. Our technology is expanding access to cervical cancer screening in sub-Saharan Africa. And our system will launch to the International Space Station to support research on survival of microorganisms in space. The global 3D imaging market is valued at over $50 billion with a 20% annual growth rate, which presents a huge opportunity for our company. We were thrilled to get accepted to the Luminate Accelerator, and they've really been a game changer for us as they connected us to optics experts, universities, investors, and partners that could really benefit our company. Making 3D imaging accessible around the world makes our team feel so gratified.
Pensivision. Isn't it just amazing how much smaller tech is getting? Experts say quantum computing promises to be a game changer for almost every industry, but it's still a few years away. Pixel Photonics from Munster, Germany is pushing quantum forward with a scalable light detection breakthrough. So let's roll their video too.
We are Pixel Photonics, and we are providing scalable infrared light detection that are really pushing the envelope in terms of sensitivity down to the single photon level. For the starting quantum and photonics era, really enabling breakthrough applications in defense, communication, sensing, and computing. Wherever it is really necessary to detect a single photon, we are relevant. The hunger of humankind for computational power has been a constant for the last 125 years, while new technologies emerging, namely photonics and quantum. But both these technologies need really near-infrared light detection down at the single photon level. So far, those detectors are either available as a semiconductor technology, which is really limited in terms of sensitivity, or as a superconducting technology that is really limited in terms of price and scalability. At Pixel Photonics, we combine photonic integrated circuits with superconducting detectors. Our solution provides single photon detection at a cost and a performance that has not been achievable so far. We have a scalable, wafer fabricatable solution ready that provides a cost down and a drop in complexity, and at the same time provides the tremendously good performance of superconducting detectors, bringing all together in a cryogenically stable optical package and providing this as a push-button turnkey system, and therefore opens up markets that so far have not been able to adapt superconducting technology. These markets are already in a $1 billion range and are about to grow. Participating in Luminate has been extremely valuable for us. especially for a European company, setting up a foothold in the US is extremely valuable, and I think Luminate is the perfect start for that. The impact on society is that for the first time, those types of detectors are available. This will really boost quantum technologies, and we will be there to serve for that.
Pixel Photonics. Up next, we have Princeton, New Jersey-based Snowchip, which is delivering next-generation optics for infrared imaging and sensing applications. The team's metasurfaces are manufactured using the same process as semiconductor integrated circuit chips, so it's fundamentally different from how traditional optics are created. So let's learn more.
Our company is Snowchip. We create an optical chip. It functions as an optical lens. We use this optical chip for infrared imaging and sensing application. When light passes our optical chip, it can form an image. We can also extract other signals such as temperature, material, stress, distance, and many other factors. Currently, optical lens is made by traditional art of polishing and grinding, which is time-consuming, and the lens itself usually is very bulky and costly. At Snowchip, our technology will make the optical lens more affordable, more compact. We can make the lens faster. We also have a wider range of material for making infrared lenses. Our customers can order our optical chips, which are pre-designed, or we can design and fabricate to meet their specific application requirement. They can integrate it into their optical system just like a conventional lens. Currently, we are focusing on infrared imaging application, but a customer can use our optical chip for other applications in different wavelengths. Our optical chips are integrated into imaging and sensing system for applications such as defense, aerospace, medical, automotive, and many other applications as well. The market for infrared imaging optics is a multi-billion-dollar industry worldwide. We are thrilled to be part of Luminate. In Rochester, there is a well-established optics industry. This ecosystem will benefit us tremendously. We are very excited about creating this optical chip, which hasn't been done before. To bring this revolutionary technology to the industry to improve the quality of people's life all over the world is a dream come true for our team.
Snowchip. And coming all the way from Seoul, South Korea is Vana M. Their team has developed a thin film deposition platform that blends scientific precision with manufacturing flexibility to fuel faster and more collaborative development of complex films than today's traditional suppliers can achieve. So let's watch.
We are Vana Materials Lab, or VANAM in short, and we develop next-generation thin films for advanced devices like quantum computers, high-performance electronics, or photonics, to make their production faster and simpler, and to make them more reliable. Thin films are multi-layers of coatings that can be used in a multitude of applications. The most common ones can be found on laptop screens, car sensors, or any other type of electronic devices. With our technology, we are trying to solve the problem of slow thin film development. It usually takes decades for thin films to go from R&D to full commercialization. At VANAM, we developed a unique way to deposit layers of thin films in a controlled way to leverage the properties that we require for the applications that we're targeting. By doing so, we are saving time and cost and overcoming long-standing bottlenecks, making it possible to develop new materials that were once only considered theoretical. Our customers are typically manufacturers who would implement our thin films in their processes to develop their final products and devices. The global market of thin film deposition is expected to surpass $85 billion in 2032. Since our establishment in 2022, we have built up a portfolio of almost 40 materials, and we are always adding more based on customer requests. Our selection for Luminate has been very timely, especially that this year we are developing materials for optics and photonics, and our participation has helped us by introducing us to a network and to mentors who have accelerated our US presence. Our plans for the near future is to open our first lab in the US, which will be in Rochester, New York. It is extremely exciting to develop thin films that enable technologies that were not even possible before. At VANAM, we're not just developing thin films, we are enabling the breakthroughs that will shape our world.
VANAM. In industries like aerospace, medical imaging, and augmented reality, manufacturers rely on highly accurate optical components. But the measurement systems are bulky and expensive. Wise Light from Saint-Étienne, France, is solving these challenges with its compact tabletop device that uses a novel optical technique. So check out our final video.
The name of our company is Wise Light. Our technology is coaxial deflectometry. This is the technique that consists in extracting the shape information from the distortions that you can observe. And it's used to measure the shape of reflective surfaces of very high precision optical parts. We measure telescope and satellite mirrors, typically used for space and terrestrial observation. We also measure lenses, and sometimes we don't even know the applications for these parts because our customers wouldn't tell us because it's secret. Precision optics are very difficult to measure. When you want to measure the shape of reflective surfaces, you need an expert to do this, and you also need very costly equipment, so that's very challenging for precision optics manufacturers. Our technology is much simpler to use, it's fast, and it is much cheaper than what they use today. We sell a full system that allows the operator just to put the sample in place without requiring very precise alignment or positioning, and then click on a button and get the results on the form of a surface map. We deliver deviation to nominal surface because what's interesting for the operator is to know the difference between what he measures and what he wants manufactured. We also deliver images that show very well scratch, digs, indents, all the defects that can be seen on the surface. It's very simple to operate. The size of our potential global market for precision optics is about $100 million. The ecosystem of Luminate completely matches the companies and investors that we want to connect with. Only on Rochester, there are maybe 10 times more than what we can find in whole France. It's incredible. To know that we have a part in the technologies that are important for humanity in the future is really something that inspires us every day.
Wise Light. And that completes our look at 12 of the most promising technologies coming our way right now. And we're going to hear from Empire State Development, which makes the Luminate Accelerator possible. So please join me in welcoming Vincent Esposito, the Senior Vice President for Regional Economic Development and the Assistant Secretary for Upstate Intergovernmental Affairs. He will join us on the stage right now. Vinny Esposito.
Good evening. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you to Luminate and Sujatha and everyone for having me here. It's always an inspiring evening. It's humbling to go after seeing these presentations and people who are doing such great things to grow their business, to improve our local economy and make our world a better place. I really am here tonight to bring greetings from Governor Hochul and my colleagues in New York State, particularly those at Empire State Development that fund this program and many others to grow the economy in places like Rochester. And I've been to a lot of events where I am often the speaker, or other speakers will lament being the last thing between something like lunch or happy hour But in this case, being the last thing before we give out $2 million is also very humbling. So I know my place here. I just want to say thank you. I want to say good luck, and I'm happy to get on with the show. Have a great evening.
All right, I do have a couple other things, though, before we get to that good stuff. But thank you, Vinny, for all the work Empire State Development does to foster innovation, new opportunities, and growth for those who come here, who work here, and those of us who live here. So it's that time again when you are going to help us figure out who will be the extra winners. We have the awards portion of our event coming up, but last week, our advisory board and judges reviewed the finalists' work to select the companies receiving follow-on funding. So now is your chance to weigh in on who takes home the $10,000 award. You get to vote for the Audience Choice Award. So everyone here and around the world, because we have people watching from around the world, please take out your phones and you get to cast your vote. So if you're here, right here at the Arbor venue, you can scan the QR code. It's right there on the screen. And you also can go to slido.com. That's SLIDO.com. That's, put it in your browser. And then you enter the code. It's right down at the bottom of the screen, 1736616. So don't worry, there's no Wi-Fi password required. You can go ahead and vote from this venue. So if you're joining us online today, all you have to do is scroll just beneath the viewing screen and you just click on the button to cast your vote. So it's pretty easy. But you can only vote once, no cheating. So while you're casting your vote, let's have Dr. Ramanujan come back onto the stage, and she's got some good news to share.
So by showing up today and casting your vote, you've officially earned your badge as a tech trendsetter in support of Luminate's mission. Let's face it, cutting-edge technologies don't magically leap out of labs and into the world without a cheering section who's rooting for everything impossible to become possible. Since Luminate kicked off 8 years ago, we've helped 85 startups push their tech and business goals forward. Today, 85% of them are still standing strong, and collectively they're worth an estimated $700 million. And they're attracting both investor and industry attention. So that's great for them. As Rebecca said earlier, every team here today is a winner, whether they receive follow-on funding or not. Your brilliance, your innovation, and your can-do attitude have been incredible to witness. It's been an absolute joy working with you, and I consider each one of you an amazing investment. For any entrepreneurs watching, if your startup is doing something cool with optics, photonics, or imaging, and you're not allergic to a little bit of spotlight, consider applying to Cohort 9. Applications are open until January 12th at luminate.org. That's Luminate with an L. And info sessions are happening right now. We promise low stress, high support, and excellent snacks. Okay, maybe just the last two. And if you're working on new hardware products, don't miss NextCore's free online manufacturing accelerator. Our teams used it this year to lower the cost and risk of getting their product on the path to production, and you can do that too. Just go to nextcore.org, nextcorps.org to learn more. The voting window is now officially closed, which means it is time for the big moment. Jim and Rebecca get in position to hand out these big checks. Everyone else, grab onto your cowbells and clappers to bring on the noise. Oh, and by the way, we have the band, the SPIE Jam later, so especially those of you with cowbells, that will be needed.
All right, we're getting ready. All right, so you got these going. And let's hear the cowbells. Come on, get loud, get loud. Okay, we're so excited. This is wonderful. Okay, you ready, Jim and Sujatha? First, we'd like to present our Innovator graduation trophies to every member of Cohort 8. So let's start with AMPIC. And we want everyone to be able to come up and get their picture taken. There we go. Seconia Medical. She's here today. Thank you. We also have daughter. Up next, iridescence. We have Lear Optic. We also have Oblate Optics. I went out of order, but Oblate Optics, I apologize. We're just as happy. Thank you, Sujatha, for figuring that out. Metahelios. And we have Pensavision. And we have Pixel Photonics. Snow Chip. Bona M. And finally, Wise Light. How about another round of applause for everybody? All of our companies. This year we have a new award provided by the American Precision Optics Manufacturers Association. So Zach Hobbs, the president of APOMA, and Yvette Pagano, executive director, are here to present the APOMA Optics Innovator Award.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to participate in this. So thank you to NextCorp and Luminate for allowing us this opportunity. So for the first ever APOMA award winner at this event, the award winner gets a free membership to APOMA as well as an invite to our technical conference, which will be in Florida next year in October. So without more waiting, the award goes to Oblate Optics.
All right, it's getting so tense now, but thank you, Apoma. Now we have a three-way tie for the Distinguished Graduate Award, each getting $200,000, so each company will get that. The first winner, Oblate Optics. He's like, where? Where do I go? Did he come back around? Did he hear? Oblate? Oblate Optics? That's our first distinguished graduate. Yeah. Giving him a workout today. And our second distinguished graduate is Pixel Photonics. Pixel. And as part of that three-way tie, we have a third distinguished graduate, Snow Chip. We go from distinguished to outstanding graduate award. This is a $500,000 award, and it goes to AMPIC. And I've just been handed the paper for the results of your vote. This year's Audience Choice Award, $10,000, goes to Lear Optic. That's the Audience Choice Award. We will fill in the top line. Congratulations. All right, the music is starting to play. Everybody's feeling it today. All right, and get your cowbells and your clappers ready because the final award today comes with a check for $1 million. So, the Luminate 2025 Company of the Year Award goes to Pensy Vision. Congratulations, Pensy Vision. Look at that. That's a big check. $1 million. Company of the Year, Luminate 2025. I know there's lots of celebrating, and I want to congratulate everybody. I hope you enjoyed this main event. and seen all the possibilities that are destined to change our world. But we want to remind you to subscribe to The Lens on luminate.org. You can stay informed on the progress of these companies, track industry developments, and receive updates on how Luminate is expanding opportunities and New York's leadership in optics, photonics, and imaging. It's been said that innovation begins with a single idea, but it thrives when we believe in what's possible. So as we all leave tonight, may we carry the belief forward and turn possibility into progress. So thank you once again for coming to Luminate 2025. If you're here in person, we encourage you to stay. There's lots of refreshments, and then we've got that SPIE Jam. That starts at 7 o'clock. You have access to the stage if you'd like to take pictures up here. But of course, we will see you in 2026. Thank you, everyone. God bless.